Welcome to the Creative Constitution Podcast.
In this episode, we have legendary dancer, multi-talent, Tombé. Tombé, what else do you do? Bro, I feel like you do so many things and you have so many skills. And obviously the one I see you do the most is full-time professional dancer, blowing everyone away with your incredible dance moves and stage presence and charisma and ridiculous level of handsomeness.
Stop it.
Yeah. Sort of, how did you get into it, man?
Dancing, I started when I was 26.
Okay.
So I haven't done that for very long.
Wow.
I haven't done full-time dance either, like most people. So I'm just kind of mainly self-taught. I've done like little lessons here and there with like people I know, privates and stuff. I do dance classes, but yeah, I've never done like the whole Cert 3 and 4 in dance.
Okay, but you're still keeping up the practice. So as you're doing it on a professional circuit, constantly working, you're still doing the classes while working.
Constantly, dude. Yeah, I'm by no means the best dancer around. Like
I don't know.
Like, dude, like I've just I feel like I've just gotten lucky, honestly. But yeah, man, I this is something I started like later in life. So
wow.
Like
That's
people
crazy.
think, you know, it's like kind of too late to start new things, but honestly it isn't. And a really good example of that is the dude from KFC. Who started KFC?
Oh,
the Colonel.
Right.
Yeah, he started it when he was like 60 something or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's never too late, man, to change your life or
That's
start something new. And not only that, but like doing new things, especially later on in life, especially when you get to like 30, your neurosignals, like your neuroconnections in your brain, they stop firing, they stop making connections. So like the moment you're born to like the moment you're like 30 years old, like your brain is constantly developing and you make more and more neuroconnections all the time, right? But then it gets to a point in your life where your brain actually stops and then it starts to degenerate.
I feel that.
And scientists have figured out that it's around about 30 years old. And then you start to degenerate from there until obviously you get to like when you're 70, 80, 90 and you get like Alzheimer's and you start like losing the plot, you know what I mean? Because your brain's just barely working anymore. You know, you talk to old people and sometimes you wonder, is there anything even in there? Do you know what I mean? And that's because their brain is barely even making neurosignals anymore. So learning things, especially later in life, encourages your brain to keep making those connections. Which is why they say one of the best preventatives for like Alzheimer's and, you know, going crazy with old age. I forgot the other terms, but is basically learning new things.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Just anything, learning how to play chess, learning how to bake, whatever.
So keeping skill the brain up active, is preventing the sort of deterioration over time.
Yeah, like it's just it's like your brain's like similar to a muscle, right? It's not a muscle at all by no means. But in regards, metaphorically, like you use a muscle, right? Yep. You exercise it and you keep it there. You develop it. You don't use a muscle and it like goes away. Yeah. So it's the same thing with like a brain, you know what I mean? Like you don't use your brain. Your brain, especially like after 30, your brain will just stop.
Yeah.
Making those connections, just stops firing, do you know what I mean? On
its own, you've got to force it.
Yeah, man. Like you've got to like always keep pushing yourself, like learning new things.
Yeah.
Always.
Same as the body stuff, because you look at, there's so many people that are, you know, get to 50 and they kind of give up and they're on meds constantly and they sit around and complain about their knee or their back or something. Then you look at some dudes that are 60 that are just eating incredible diets that are like whole foods and, you know, hunt their own meat or whatever and still train. Yeah. And they're still like 30 to 40. Like they're in incredible condition.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, I've always adopted that mentality and I will always adopt that mentality. But yeah, like, so I started when I was 26 and I'm doing all right.
That's
considering
incredible,
I started later in life and I haven't been dancing that long and I can't complain.
Yeah, no. That's inspiring to me as well, because it just goes to show, like, within the creative sphere, you can start at any time. Like there's a lot of actors and we don't want to go too much into acting on this because we want to focus on sort of your sphere. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of performers do that. And you hear them get really big names when they're 40 or 50. And then it's just bang, bang, bang from there. But from 20 to 30, there might have been nothing, or they might have been working as an accountant for 10 years and felt unfulfilled.
Yeah,
and,
that is a good point. But like with acting, especially, like, you know, you can start later in life. You can start whenever you want, really. But like with dancing, realistically, there is like a time frame with that because of the physical demands of the job. Is a little different. Like one of my big regrets is like, I wish I started this earlier in life, but that's just like completely out of my control.
We all say that. Hey, it's like, I wish I knew now, like that 5 years ago. What I know now, or my drive now.
You know, like the things in my life that I did when I was younger might have set me up to be here where I am right now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like I would have loved to have the more of my youth in dancing, but I don't know. I feel like if I take care of myself, I've still got a fair few years left in me.
Good.
Because you look at guys like Eben, who works at Pink Flamingo.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just a physical specimen. And he's still doing so great. Like, you know what I mean?
Incredible acrobatic
I don't know
feats.
his exact age. And, so I don't want to like say a number, but he's one of the more mature guys around.
I think he's around mid-50s.
Something like that.
But on stage, like, he looks 30. Like, you can't tell.
So he's just like, the proof is in the pudding, you know what I mean? Like, look after your body, eat well, train well. You'll have a good career out of it for a long time, I guess.
Incredible.
Fingers crossed, touch wood.
Yeah,
well, getting a bad injury, you know? Yeah.
True. And that's another thing, like, especially within our sphere as well.
Yeah.
Like a dancer, if you screw this up or screw your knee up or something, same as like singing, the creative sphere, if this is gone,
it's brutal.
I'm behind now because I can't record for 3 months because this has been damaged and we've been sick for 2 and it's going to take another 2 months to recover.
Yeah, dude.
And if you bugger your knee up or something and have to have, God forbid, like a reconstruction or a shoulder injury, or like, how long would that put you out for? And how much work and money is that sort of?
Oh man, like a bad injury for a dancer can like finish your career. Do you know what I mean? Depending on the level you're performing. You know what I mean? Like I knew some guys in Vegas that had really bad injuries and they were in Cirque du Soleil. And they were like the most elite level acrobats. And dude, like they just could not do the things they could do anymore. You know what I mean?
Full stop.
Especially considering they were like in their 30s. And like when you're in your 30s, your ligaments and your tendons don't recover like they would if you were like 15 or 16 or something. Do you know what I mean? And it leaves scar tissue and that stuff's really hard to get over. So yeah, it's brutal, man. But this loops me back to what I said before. It's really important just to continuously just learn new things. Like go, hey, if I could try something different, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's never too late to do that. And that's what a lot of people in this industry, in the creative industry, especially dancing, acting, I don't know. But a lot of people think that, I don't know, when they feel like they haven't made it or they can't make it or they get an injury if they're a dancer, especially athletes as well, they get injured, you know what I mean? They didn't get recruited, they didn't get drafted, whatever. They're like, it's over, you know what I mean? Yeah. But just learn new things, keep that brain working.
Keep it active.
It's bigger than it's bigger than you. It's bigger than what you want out of life. It's more like your health, you know what I mean? It's your longevity in life. Like your life depends on it.
Yes. And you could hit this so hard. Like now that you're on a roll and you're doing this full time and smashing it, you could smash it for another 10 years and then make hay while the sun shines. And then if something, God forbid, did go wrong, you'd still have other stuff you could go to. Because as you've said, you're preparing for that anyhow because you're aware that dancers, like time span within certain shows, I guess, is only sort of doable while you have that certain look, while you have that youth, while you have, and then perhaps an older dancer, like when you get to 50, you're probably not still going to be performing the same shows as you're doing now. You'll be doing something different.
Yeah. And you'll want to make way for younger people too as well.
Yeah.
You get to that point. It's just like the natural evolution of things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's always other things you can move on to, like creating shows, directing, choreography. It's a whole cycle.
There you go.
Yeah.
And like, how would you go about, have you sort of thought about how you would transition maybe one day to something like that, to directing a show or choreographing or having your own sort of school? Have you thought about that sort of stuff?
Yeah, briefly, like I have like thought about it. Nothing like, I don't like to really set things in stone though.
Yep.
Because life is crazy. It's so chaotic. And like, you honestly can't plan for this shit. Like people try and plan for as much as they can, but then they just end up living boring lives.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean?
Or it changes like 100 times.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, that was...
Man, life is chaos. Like, you just got to embrace it. You know what I'm saying? You just got to like... You got to know how to adapt with the changes. Yeah. Like, quickly and efficiently.
Tombé quote of the year. Embrace the chaos.
Yeah, man. But like, you try and plan life too much, like... You'll be like one of those boring people at parties. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to be that person. Yeah. At the end of the day, like we live and die within like a blink of an eye compared to the life of this universe. Yeah. And like, I just want to like fucking have fun, man. Yeah. I just want to live. And like, almost if I like plan everything like crazy, I feel like I'm just not really living in the present, if it makes sense. But having said that, like it is smart to plan ahead in the future. So like I do think about it, but I don't obsess over it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, like there is things I could do like choreography, create shows and stuff like that. I'm not super interested into like show creation and direction at the moment. That might come to me later. Yeah. Choreography is already something I do. I do that as a custom order for people. When they hit me up, I can like make choreography. I do it online and I send them like video tutorials.
Amazing. So we'll definitely link that below.
Yeah, dude. And I have multiple businesses I run as well.
Incredible.
Adonis Dance Academy. Yeah. On my t-shirt right here.
Hey. I just thought that was a really, really cool shirt.
I designed this myself.
But that's your, what?
Yeah. So this is one of my businesses, Adonis Dance Academy. That's not me. That's just from Step Up Moose.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, like I had to Photoshop all that together and shit. It took me so long, man.
Like Canva or something?
Nah, like Photoshop.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, like actual Photoshop. Not just like the description, the word. Yeah. But yeah, man, so I'm happy with these, how they turned out. But anyway, I run an online dance academy. Yeah. So basically I teach men how to, how do I say this? I teach them like a masculine appealing dance style for men. Okay. Like, so my niche market's men.
Yep.
And a big problem that men have, especially with dancing, is they don't have that resource that they can, I guess, how do I say this? Most dancing for men is like flamboyant, right?
Okay.
And it's like not masculine.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys are put off by this, which is why a lot of guys don't dance.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stigma around dancing. There's a lot of like self-conscious guys around there. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like I want to like kind of break that. Like dancing doesn't have to be like this. It can be masculine and sexual.
Yeah.
So I teach the male striptease dance style, which is like a dance style that is basically geared and designed to turn women on.
All right. So when's our first lesson now? Sounds like it's time to begin, you know?
It starts right now, and it starts with the amazing body roll. But yeah, dude, like most guys just want to know how to dance to impress girls. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, like your average guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would just love to know how to dance so he can just like pick up at the club or just have more self-confidence or just feel sexy about himself.
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of guys don't have.
Oh, I relate 100%.
A lot. Man. And like a lot of girls do. They feel sexy about themselves and they flaunt it and it's like a thing and it's like, you know, it's like a whole thing. It's like a trend now, right?
Yeah.
But like with guys, it's not so much. Guys, it's like, oh, you know, you can't feel too sexy about yourself. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to explain. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like from perception over time, as well as sort of living in both worlds at a time, like doing a lot of musicals, I felt really sort of masculinely empowered or whatever and sexy and badass and charming. When I was learning choreographed dance things, I didn't feel like, you know, when I was learning dance choreography that went well in cool musicals, felt great. Yeah. Felt like really proud and accomplished.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a very good dancer either. Like it takes me a long time to learn choreography.
But you feel great.
But then, you feel really good.
Yeah.
And then there's the flip side. when there wasn't that choreography, when there wasn't that need or excuse to learn something, felt just like old mate down the pub that plays footy on the weekends, like going into a nightclub or having to do a romantic dance sort of in public or at a social event with your significant other, felt very socially uncomfortable. And it sort of felt slipping back into that, not sure what to do. I think I'll just do some funny sort of silly looking stuff.
Yeah.
And that's from someone who has danced and felt masculine and confident as well. So I can imagine the people that feel like the latter all the time, you know, just sort of don't want to do it, socially awkward.
Yeah, dude.
They want to stay feeling masculine, but they think if they break out, they're going to do something uncoordinated and make a fool of themselves.
Yeah.
And so you would remedy that through training.
I teach them just the basics. Like I teach them fundamentals. I teach them how they can move and express themselves in a sexual and masculine way. And this really in turn helps their confidence massively. They feel like they can go out and they can go on the dance floor and they can express themselves. Do you know what I mean? And dude, like you should see my testimonials. You should see my students. Like it's worked really well. Like these guys are saying that like they can go out now and they've gotten women's attention and they're like, oh my God, like I've actually never gone out before and I've never had women come up to me in my life. Do you know what I mean?
Shit.
And like I've never like gone on the dance floor and I've never had people like go around me in a circle and have women go, woo, and I've never had a woman grind on me before. And it's like I've never felt this way before. Do you know what I mean? Like this is like, it's like a new thing for me and it's just like, it's igniting something in me. And this is only one aspect of my business, by the way. So the cool thing about my academy, it has different things it's done for different people, but so this is one thing right at the moment, which is just teaching guys just how to express themselves in this masculine way, right? So they feel like they can still be manly, right? And dance at the same time, which is what so many guys feel like they can't do. They think the moment they dance they can't be manly, and like you said, they do silly stupid things, or they just think that dancing is just all about being flamboyant and gay. So, like this is what I teach the guys, and
there's nothing wrong with that. Which that's fine.
Totally, man.
But some guys sort of, they close up at the inkling of even someone thinking they might be a bit flamboyant or they sort of shut down, don't they?
Exactly, man. And the thing is, like, so I target specifically like straight guys. Like I teach guys the moves that women like and stuff.
Nice.
So that's my niche and that's where I'm at. So I just basically like hone in on that mindset and that exact target group. But on the flip side as well, I also have men that want to learn this dance style for their partners to basically take their relationships to the next level.
Amazing.
Which is probably more of my students are actually in that boat than the other one. So basically it can be broken down into two segments. Like I've got single guys and I've got guys in relationships that are in my academy.
Okay.
Single guys like to learn moves because they just want to like put the power of seduction in their own hands. So like normally, you know, it's usually the women that choose who they want to talk to and who they reject or who they accept and stuff. But like I teach guys that, you know, you can become your own Romeo for these women. You know, you can seduce these women. Like you just got to know what to do. You got to know how to treat them. Do you know what I mean? So, and then you've also got guys in relationships. So, and they're like, want to learn this dance style so they can gift this to their partner. So I also teach lap dancing and lap dancing technique in my online academy and tutorials. And I go into extreme detail on this. And I break down step by step on how you can give your partner a lap dance. And so what these guys do is they gift this for their like anniversary or their partner's birthday or Valentine's Day, or even just like a once a fortnight or once a month, just like a special date night thing or something like that. And they go to my website, they learn these routines, they practice it, they rehearse it in private, and then they follow my steps. You know, they turn off the lights, they light a candle, they put the music on, whatever. They clear the room, and then they give their partners like a special dance out of a complete surprise. And it takes these women by surprise, and they absolutely love it, dude. These girls are like, oh my God, this guy actually spent hours of his life rehearsing and practicing something just to solely please me. Just something just for me. And it wasn't something he just went out and bought. It wasn't just a diamond ring. It wasn't just like a piece of jewelry or some chocolate or flowers. He actually put his own time and effort and he put his ego aside. He put what everyone else thought about him aside, and he just went ahead and did this just for me. And it's like, it's one of the most truly amazing gifts like you can give to your partner. And from the testimonials that my guys have given me online, they said like it's taken their like marriage and relationships to like to the next level, dude. Like they say like, oh, like we're like just having sex all the time now, you know what I mean? Which is like super important. And like, we're just like, it's just really just helped us find a new connection, reignite the flame. Like, it's really cool. Like I just started this thing. I started the academy just to actually, cause I'm a male stripper. Not anymore, but I was for like a good chunk of my life through my 20s and late teens. And like, I just wanted to teach guys just how to strip. Originally, I was like, yeah, guys would probably want to learn how to do this because it's a cool job, and I think a lot of dudes would want to do it.
Well, the crazy level of confidence that comes with that, I think, you know, for me, that's like, oh, I don't think that's ever going to happen. But I can imagine for somebody like yourself that's sort of embraced that and really enjoys it and finds that amazing level of confidence and sort of empowerment that comes with that, you would want to just hand it out like candy to everyone you could.
Dude.
You're like, bro, here, no, have a bit of this. Dude, you'll feel amazing.
It was the most insane job. It was the most insane experience of my life. Like, there were some of the craziest years of my life, and it was like a really incredible, very empowering job. So the big problem I had when I first started stripping was that there was no resource online that would tell me what to do or teach me how to do it. I had to like figure it out on my own as I went. I had to like watch people do it, ask questions. It was like a whole thing. It was like a real long process, and it like really did my head in. But after a while, I slowly figured it all out. And then I was like, geez, man, I need to like
streamline
because I did really well with stripping. Like, I went to Vegas with it. I went to China. I went all over Europe. Like, I did tours and stuff. Like, I saw the world. I performed for thousands of screaming women all over the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I was just like, this is like insane. Like, so I did really well at that. And I was like, I feel like I'm at the point now where I can like teach people exactly what I did so they can experience what I experienced. So I started this course just teaching that, basically, just how to become a male stripper. And it's funny because from that, I've kind of reverse engineered it to what it is now. So it started off as Male Stripper Academy. Which is what it's not called anymore. It's called Adonis Dance Academy now. And it's more than just teaching stripping now and how to become a male stripper. It's all about teaching people the art of lap dancing, how they can use that for their relationships and for their own lives. It's all about teaching them how to develop this dance style for their own self-confidence, for their own self-growth. To teaching them about, you know, how to have confidence when they go out in the club and knowing how to dance on the dance floor. And it's funny, it's become this whole thing from that. And now in my business, it's like a 3-step process that, like I said, reverse engineered like that way. So people come to me wanting to learn how to dance. They want to learn how to dance my dance style, which is all about the seductive dance style, striptease, masculine dance moves. They learn that, they utilize it, they put it into practice into the club. They go, wow. Like, these moves work, dude. Like, girls like it when I body roll. Girls like it when I move my hips. They like it when I drop low and I slide around and, you know, like I hit the beat, pop, 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 and I use my shoulders and my chest and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like, this is what they like. And I teach them all these things and they see it works. They get women's attention. And then they start dating women, you know what I mean? And then women all of a sudden talking and, you know, they're getting lots of attention and stuff. And then they find out about the lap dance inside of my business. And then they go, hang on, well, instead of like taking girls home and having that really awkward moment where you get into the apartment and it's just kind of awkward and it's just like, you know, and then, and then, you know, yeah, maybe it leads to sex, maybe it doesn't lead to sex. And, you know, a lot of the time women leave these situations not feeling the greatest, to be completely fair. Like, a lot of them, they're like, yeah, that was nice and fun, but I probably won't call him again. Like, do you know what I mean? What you can do is you can actually take them home and you can give them a lap dance. You know what I mean? You can give them that experience. You can treat them like a queen. And what that does is they go, like, all of a sudden, well, first of all,
even if it's the first date.
of all, they like put yourself in the female's like perspective right here. Like, they go out, they're just partying with their friends. They see you look kind of cute, but then they see you on the dance floor, like, fuck, this guy can move. You know what I mean? You have a great time dancing with each other on the dance floor, and he's like blowing you away with these dance moves. So like, yeah, okay, I'll give him a shot. When you go home with him, you think it's just going to end up just like every other night that you have ever had with guys when you go home with in the club, whatever. But no, he actually takes it one step more. Instead of just being that dude that just jumps all over you or whatever, he surprises you with this lap dance experience.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Like he treats you like this queen. He gives you this like dance, like, and he lap dances you, and he gives you this intimate experience that you've never felt before, right? And chances are that you're gonna leave and you're gonna be going, damn, this guy's different. He's not like every other guy like I've met. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's given me this different experience that I've never experienced before. He's treated me like I've never been treated before. So a big thing in my academy is I'm about like treating women like queens. The whole thing is geared towards like treating them the way they deserve and like the way they've never been treated before. Basically, I'm trying to better men in society and the way they treat women, because the way men are right now in society, I feel like I look at it and like I want to vomit. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really bad. Like, especially the way guys talk to women now, as compared to like maybe like the 1930s or the 1940s.
When we had to court each other and everyone had respect. And
you know what I mean? Like completely different. So I'm trying to bring that back, right? Obviously you can't bring it back the way it was back then, because society's not like it is now.
And there were still negatives back then as well.
But you can bring the concepts back, but just in a modern way, which is what I'm doing. I'm bringing it back in a modern, appealing way. Yeah. Through the form of this like lap dance experience. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it may not be as like gentlemanly as the whole thing they did back in the 40s and stuff, but I tell you what, it's a hell of a lot better than what guys are doing right now.
It's the equivalent, isn't it? It's like the modern times equivalent to putting in that effort, that self-betterment, that respect. Yeah. That, look, what I've improved myself to this level. Yeah. So that a lady that spends their time investing in me or giving me a shot is really shown that I have, I've got something to give, and I'm going to give it, because I feel like that's how you impress someone else. That's how you keep them around, right?
Bang on,
You put the effort in and you show, I'm not here to take. I'm here to give. Here's what I can give. And this is what I've learnt to be able to give that. Yeah, dude. And that's all of a sudden, that's something to offer. That's something incredible to offer.
100%, man. And like the chances of her calling you the next day, or even just like texting her friends about you the next morning, like, oh my God, you have no idea what just happened to me last night. Like, she's going to go into detail. Do you know what I mean? Like, and like, this is what guys don't understand. Like I'm saying, like, dude, like this lap dance thing is a powerful tool. Like, it's powerful.
It sounds like
it's more powerful than people realize, because it's like, because she's going to tell all her friends about you. Do you know what I mean? You're going to get this reputation as this like freaking stud. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even lying. Like, dude, I can't even make this shit up. Like, it's just the truth. It's just like, you think about it. Just if you just think about it a little bit, it's like you're like, damn, like you're right. Like, it's crazy. So these guys, they literally write me emails back and they're like, man, my life is like changed. You know what I mean? Like, ever since you taught me about how to do this stuff, it's just like, oh man, it's just like crazy. Like, so then you've got that part of the phase of the journey. Yeah. And then I'm like, well, hey, you've got all these lap dance skills and you're getting really good at lap dancing. Why don't you just become a stripper? And then you can make $1,000 cash every weekend. That's no lie. Yeah. That's no word of a lie. If you're a good stripper, you can earn about up to $1,000 cash every weekend, which is what I did for like a
2-day weekend 20s. Or like a 3-day weekend, like a Sunday?
Like a mainly Saturday.
Saturday.
Maybe with like the odd job on like a Friday, 1 or 2 on a Friday, but just mainly Saturday night.
Mainly just a Saturday night, maybe one gig on late Friday, and
1 or 2 on a Friday.
With this skill set,
and then maybe like another like 3 or 4 on a Saturday or something. I'll break it down for you. Wow. So 15-minute show, going industry rate, by the way, which it should be like way higher now because of inflation, but the male strip industry hasn't changed. That's like a whole other thing. So a 15-minute show, if you just go to a hen's night, like I've probably been to like a dozen around in this area in hotels and stuff. You just go to a hen's night, you do a 15-minute show. You're in and out in about 30 minutes, give and take the time it takes you to get in, up the elevator, get changed, blah, blah, blah. That's 200 cash. So you do 5 a night, that's 1,000. And that's easily done. 5 a night, easy. 30 minutes in and out.
There's something for everyone.
I've done more than 5. I've done nights where I've earned like 1,800. Do you know what I mean? Cash.
That's wild, man.
I have to tell the tax man.
That is wild.
Dude, you use that cash, you just take that straight to Woolies and you just put it in the machines and you just pay your groceries with it, whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's... Wow. This is like life-changing shit.
So you really do have something for everyone. You've got the long-term relationship builders that want to accentuate that and boost it to another level. Yeah. You've got the men trying to build that confidence, like the charisma on command crowd.
That or just sick of being that dude and just want to have women like look at them like they're me. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of men just like don't have that.
Yeah.
And it crushes them over the long time.
And it might be a physical thing. They think they're not like handsome or that good looking. But to be honest,
if you can move, dude.
If you can move and you have confidence.
And you have confidence.
And you're funny, you could look like, Mr. Bean. And if you got some dance moves and you got a nice masculine speak, I feel like voice is very important as well. If you're like, hey, what's up, girl? What's up? Yeah. Like probably the dance moves in the world ain't going to help you. But if there's that combination, then it sounds like a no-brainer, man. To me, this sounds like a no-brainer. It sounds like you've got something for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's blowing my mind as well.
Because when I actually explain this to people, people go like, whoa.
I'm like, oh, shit.
It just takes a while to explain it. Because now that I'm sitting down with you, I can actually explain it.
Yeah.
But like when I'm just like chatting to people, like I just tell people like I teach dancing online. It's a lot to explain. I need time to really explain what it is and the benefits it has for people. Yeah. But it's like a whole thing, dude. It's like a whole journey. Like and they can start there, they can finish here, or they can continue on and they become strippers. Do you know what I mean? Like I've had dudes that became strippers and they're like, dude, my life's changed, man. Like I paid off my student loans. Like I'm paying off my mortgage, whatever. Like, it's incredible, man. Like it really blows my mind away. And I've got students all over the world, mate. A lot of them in America. I've got them all over like Europe, random countries, Austria, Germany, Switzerland, Slovakia, Russia. Got tons in like South America, Colombia, Mexico, Brazil, like so many different places all over the world. It's insane. Philippines, just like random places.
And how would you approach those students? Is that an online thing, like via Skype or something, and you can book in sessions?
So online, it's an online dance academy. So it's a community that people pay for access to, which is what I've recently made the transition to. That's what the biggest benefit of my academy is the community aspect. So I can show you in a minute, man.
And you can share stories with the other guys that have taken it on at different levels or for different reasons, perhaps.
Yeah.
And then sort of bond over the newfound confidence and self-improvement.
Yeah. So when they pay for access to a program, they've got 3 programs. They've got Welcome to the Club, which is teaching them how to dance in the club. Lap Dance Masterclass, which teaches them how to lap dance, and then Male Stripping 101 teaches them male stripping. So they got their 3 different journeys right there. So they can choose whichever program they want access to. Once you purchase a program, you get access to my community. And inside that community, you make your own profile. And it's like my own native social media network. So you create your own profile, you upload your pictures, and then you can collaborate, you can talk to other students, you can write posts, you can like, comment, share. It's just like Facebook pretty much, but it's like just for this. Okay. It's like my own like social media network, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's really cool because people can talk to each other from all over the world, share their own videos. Like they can upload videos of them like freestyling, like, hey, look, I heard this song like the other day. I really liked it. I played like 30 seconds of it. I jammed it in the living room. Here's a bit of what I did.
My girl went crazy over this one.
What do you guys think of my moves and stuff? And guys be like, yeah, fuck, that's so cool, man. That's fresh. Have you tried doing this? Have you tried like maybe hitting the floor at that point and doing some moves here, whatever? Yeah. Or other guys be like, look, I'm doing this as like an audition for Hustlers in Vegas. I'm thinking of getting a job there. This is my audition reel. What do you think, guys? Blah, blah, blah. Like I can show you all this stuff on the posts and stuff. It's unreal, dude. Like all these guys, they're chatting to each other, they're collaborating. And it's just like the biggest benefit of that is they feel like they're not alone. Do you know what I mean? They feel like there's other people out there encouraging them, and they get to see there's other people in the same boat as them, which really makes a huge difference. So dude, like it's incredible. I post weekly dance challenges. I make like a little combo, maybe like 2-3 counts of 8, and I post it in there. It's like a little challenge. And I tell the guys to do it and upload their attempt. And then, everyone tries it. They upload their attempt. Every month I have like free giveaways. I give these t-shirts. I post them away for free to whichever student I think in the community has been very proactive in just sharing and doing. So yeah, dude, like I have heaps of incentives for them to like keep doing stuff. I spend a lot of my time in this academy thing. This is loops back to what we talked about at the start of the podcast. Have you ever thought about
after? Well, you've already done it.
This is still basically answering that question.
Genius.
Yeah. honestly,
That's
but
funny.
like, I don't think too much about the future of it. Like, I just think about growing this and stuff.
Yeah.
There will come a point where it would be hard for me to like dance still and like show people things and stuff. At which point, you know, I might just go, oh, like I'll start up a juice bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
business and website and community sounds incredible. Like, that's just, it's so smart.
yeah.
And it seems like it's a permanent, passive, positive thing.
Yeah, dude, it's
and
really
it's
good.
just always there. So no matter what happens with the dancing, you know, in 10, 20 years, you could still have this thing running and also have a juice bar with like live dancers every day, like some unique, cool spin on a juice bar.
100%, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah. But yeah, man. So
that's incredible.
This is one thing I've got going on.
Wow.
It's really good. People pay subscription money to access it per month.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's passive, dude. I could be making sales right now. I could check if I want to, but I won't even know. Like they just come in the background.
I feel like because you're so entrepreneurial, look, we're sort of going, this is quite a long episode now. We could have a whole separate episode talking about like business fundamentals and how you've built this, how you've gone from a creative performer to like a business creator.
I could really break it down for you, man.
That could be like a whole other thing.
There's like a whole other thing. Like, but so with creative people, they think they just they struggle to really monetize on their creativity.
They do. And now more than ever, you're seeing and this is what we spoke about briefly on a previous episode, the hustler mindset, the people like you, the true no one-trick ponies, but I've got this and this and this, and I've got a backup plan, and I've got this, and I've got a business as well. They are the people who are flourishing right now in these times. And to be honest, with the ridiculous pricing of everything going up and just society as it is, I think they'll be the only people to come out all right because, you know, you've got that.
You need multiple streams of income.
Mindset. Yeah, multiple income streams. No quit mindset. A million different alternatives, not just reliant on one thing.
Most millionaires have multiple streams of income.
This was so interesting because the concepts you've brought up and like the male masculinity, confidence, sexual energy, and and the business model and sort of what you can offer people, what they can do with themselves to improve, to give more to others in order to feel better about themselves. It's like, man, if I had known this shit 5 years ago, I feel like I'd be a way better man for it. But you're just blowing my mind with this now. Like I didn't even think of this stuff as being as powerful as
dude, it is. Yeah. Crazy. Look, this brings up a real good point. I just want to say real quick, like if you can take away one thing from everything that all this crap that you just listened to me talk about.
Not at all.
The one thing like that you should really take away is I developed all of this business model, all of this whole academy thing and all of that just out of dancing, out of what I've done in my creativeness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's born from that, but it's not just like, it wasn't just that, it's spawned from that. Like, so your creativeness is not just limited to what exactly you are doing. Like, think outside the box. Like my thing is dancing, but like, who would have thought about dancing in this way? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Helping men learn how to dance in the club and helping men learn how to lap dancing and helping men make a career out of it and like a side hustle out of it as well. Like, you've got to really think outside the box, and like your creativeness can spread out in so many different ways. And especially with like, for instance, acting and stuff, there's so many like psychological benefits to it. I'm sure there's already people that have probably like thought of a lot of things about that, but you can really focus on niche markets. And in terms of like monetizing your creativity, big thing is focusing on niche markets.
Yeah, okay.
Don't go too like broad. Otherwise you're going to try and compete with like massive corporations, because that's what massive companies do. They go bigger and broader because they've got like brands and stuff. But like when you're an entrepreneur and you're starting off smaller, you really need to focus and hone in on a very specific market that has a very specific problem, and then just solve that problem for them by using your creativity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whatever it is that you do, acting, singing, dancing, playing music. I know there's a guy that in my online course world that I collaborate with a lot of online course people. He is a musician and he teaches music to people that suffer something. I can't remember what it was. Something some
like
mental condition or something.
An emotional,
but
like a music therapy, almost,
something like that.
Healing
dude. I can't
yeah.
remember off the top of my head, but man, it's incredible. Like honestly, like he now works with like heaps of like government funded organizations, and they literally just funnel work to him, and he's just like got so much fucking work and money now, man. And he was just like, before this, he was like some high school guitarist teacher, could barely pay his rent and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, but he's like, he had the skills. He has the skills. Yeah, you didn't like become Bon Jovi or whatever, but man, like he's a millionaire now. Do you know what I mean? Like he's got houses in Melbourne. He's got houses in Sydney. Like, dude, like you've got to understand you have skills and you are talented, but you need to find a niche market and learn how to use your skills to help them. This is what I've done.
Yeah.
And this is what other people need to do. So if we can like summarize all that chat, just then, that's the most important takeaway. Like just those points right there. Does that make sense?
Incredible. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense, man. You've definitely changed my mind, my mind frame and way of thinking, and holy crap. Thank you so much.
No worries, dude.
Man, myth, legend, freaking business genius, male empowerer.